Mornings on 2 is hitting the road for a zip trip to Fremont.
There's a lot of people with some pretty deep roots here.
It's kind of in between a slow and a fast-paced city.
You'll get to sample some of Fremont's vibrant restaurants.
It feels like home.
Oh, the kebabs are delicious. Best in Fremont.
And meet one teacher who won't let retirement slow her down.
Sandy said, "Do you want to paint a mural here?"
She's really nice. She's funny and she's kind.
Sit back and experience the evolution of the East Bay.
There's cauliflower fields and apricot orchards when I was a kid, and now it's a pretty big city.
As Mornings on 2 takes you on a zip trip to Fremont. All right, Friday morning, alive and well, and it is time to turn it up a notch as we give you this live picture of downtown San Francisco. Some fog sticking around. We have packed up on this Friday morning and are now 40 miles southeast of San Francisco in a little spot they like to call Fremont. It is our final zip trip of the summer, and it has taken us to Town Fair Plaza along Capitol Avenue, a great spot with the focus of bringing families together. Fremont, definitely home to plenty of recreation, plenty of cultural activities, close to big universities, Silicon Valley, also a major airport. Alongside Gasia Mikaelian, I'm Mike Meeback. Welcome to the 9, live from Fremont. Look, of all our zip trips that we have done this summer, if there's one word that I would focus on, it would probably be community. It's what I've seen, it's what I love to see, and even though Fremont is really considered kind of, Gasia, one of the bigger cities here in the Bay Area, it definitely has its own identity, and it is a place that I sense community.
And people say whether they're from here or they just grew up here or they used to live here, Fremont feels like home. And I'll mention home quickly because Fremont recently landed at the very top of a list nationwide of cities that are best to buy a home in if you have a family. Think about that. Fremont ranked #1 as the city to buy a home. If you have a family, buy a home here in Fremont, you'll be great. I mean, from recreation to shopping to just that community feel you talked about, it really is rich beyond what it has to offer today.
All right, we have an action-packed hour. We have the usual suspects with us. They have driven from Oakland down the Nimitz here to Fremont. Our 9 o'clock co-anchor Sal Castaneda will join us a little bit later to give us some taste of the town. And of course, KTVU's Claudine Wong and Frank Malicote also here in Fremont with some wonderful stories to tell.
And now, when you say Fremont, a lot of people think of Tesla. A lot of people think of Kristi Yamaguchi, and we're going to talk with her live and her whole family in just a few minutes. But first, let's get you to know Fremont a little bit better. As with so many Bay Area cities, we are standing on what used to be orchard land. And here we are today. It is a mecca of tech and multi-million-dollar homes. So let's get to learn a little bit more about Fremont. Nestled between Oakland and Silicon Valley on the southeast side of the San Francisco Bay, Fremont is a diverse city where techies and families alike live, work, and play. Its earliest history dates back to the 1700s with the founding of Mission San Jose by the Spanish. But it wasn't incorporated until 1956 when the 5 towns of Mission San Jose, Centerville, Niles, Irvington, and Warm Springs came together. The city was named after John Charles Fremont, an American explorer and politician who mapped a trail to the area in the 1800s. The area was rich with agriculture and thrived during the California Gold Rush.
Its new and supposedly revolutionary Macintosh computer.
But over the decades, the city has transformed with tech. Fremont was home to the Apple factory, where the first Mac computer was manufactured in the 1980s. Now it's where you'll find the Tesla factory, one of the city's top employers, which produces thousands of vehicles a week. Fremont is known for its moderate climate, making it ideal for being outdoors. So it's no surprise that the city's busiest attraction is Mission Peak, which offers gorgeous views of the bay. Right now, the city's currently working to revitalize its downtown area and has plans for a new events center at the current Town Fair Plaza, where construction is set to begin this fall. And Fremont is also designated as a Tree City USA. Try to guess.
Tree City USA.
Guess how many trees are in the city of Fremont?
10,000.
Higher.
100.
55,000 trees here in the city of Fremont, so it is gorgeous and it is green.
All right, time now to check in with KTVU's Claudine Wong. She joins us live now from right here at Town Fair Plaza. Hey, Claudine.
Good morning. Yes, Mike and Gus here. We want to give you a little tour of the space that we're in because it's so cool. We have so many busy activities going on right now and so many people who are part of the community who are down here. Check it out. These are seniors from the Fremont Senior Center doing a little line dancing this morning, of course. And this group that you're seeing here, it's just part of a much bigger group. Can you believe that they have 75 people signed up for line dancing at the Fremont Senior Center? And they'll be out here all morning long. They're also going to be doing Tai Chi and senior fitness, and they've got hundreds who do senior fitness. There's actually a Tai Chi class going on right now as well. Okay, let's walk you over to this way because we have so much more to show you. We've got the kids in Fremont still enjoying summer vacation. So they're out here right now. This is part of the Fremont Recreation Services group, and so these kids out here, they're doing a little stretching, they're doing a little yoga, and guess what? Frank is going to talk to them a little bit later. They've also got ping pong going, we've got basketball over here, and look at all the parents that we have over here also taking all the pictures. So a lot of fun. All right, I'm going to show you one more spot before we let you go, because over here we've got this band that you're going to be hearing from all morning long. Just talk to these lovely young ladies. That's Buffy and Ellie. They're part of Audio Blonde, this really great band. And they're pop country. When you ask them about what kind of music they sing, 15 and 16 years old. They've been playing for a couple of years. They met through theater, and now they perform all over the Bay Area. We're so excited to listen to them this morning. So very busy out here. So happy to be out here in Fremont. We'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Claudine, we'll check in with you in just a little bit. You want to do a little taste of the town right now?
One of my favorite parts of all of our zip trips. So we talk about Fremont, and you have to mention its diversity. In fact, a lot of you know that Fremont is home to the largest Afghan-American community in the entire country, and that is definitely affecting the taste of this town. There's also some down-home country cooking, so we sent our Sal Castaneda to sample a couple of this city's best restaurants. Sal, you're at the Saddle Rack this morning, not riding the bull yet, but you came out here not long ago and had a couple good meals.
Well, listen, I tried to get on the bull, Gussie. I couldn't. It's kind of high. They might help me a little later on. But this is a legendary bar, the Saddle Rack. It was first opened in San Jose. They closed for a while. They found a new home in Fremont 16 years ago. And believe it or not, it's about 9 in the morning and change, and people are already here line dancing. We're going to see a little bit of that later on. We're going to talk about the history of this bar. But yes, my assignment has been to go out and taste food all over Fremont. And here is what I found during our segment called Taste of the Town. If you're hungry for a good meal, and I mean really hungry, go where folks in Fremont have been going for 40 years. Country Way on Maury Avenue. It's a family-owned business in a building that was once the Copper Penny restaurant. Theodoros Mateo, one of the owners, says when the family bought the place, they kept the decor mostly the same and focused on building a good menu. Everything from boiling fresh potatoes to buying quality meats, Mateo says consistency is the key.
Just boil it and slice it for orders tomorrow. We do that every day for 40 years. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Good breakfast, fresh product, fresh potatoes, good bacon, good ham, good pancakes. And
I heard about the pancakes. Customers agree. Locals rave about the food, friendly staff, and generous portions.
We become part of Fremont. A few restaurants survive 40 years now.
I love going to the counter at a restaurant because you can see the kitchen from the counter, so you can see the cooks making the food. I'm just about to be served up one of Country Way's specialties. Look at this. Look at this big breakfast. Thank you so much. This is steak and eggs with the side of those potatoes. I also had to try their famous French toast. Now I know why so many people told me about this place. Across town, I went for lunch in Little Kabul, an area with many Afghan businesses. I found the Afghanan decked out in authentic decor and one very ornate front door. I also love the smell of the food and the ambiance. Chef Emmanuel Marin was cooking kebabs, one of the specialties. The Afghanan also makes fresh bread called bolani. I watched as the bolani filled with potatoes or leeks was griddled. It's plated hot off the griddle and served with yogurt and cilantro chutney. Hadis Faizi works at the Afghanan and is from Afghanistan. She says the extensive menu here is authentic.
It feels like home, especially
if you're far away from your family.
Josh Herrera says he comes here for the kebabs.
A lot of cultural food here in Fremont. This is definitely one of the best.
Finally, it was my turn to try the food. I had the kabili palu, which is leg of lamb covered with brown seasoned basmati rice. The flavors were superb.
All right, so we're back at the Saddle Rack, and people are here early, as I mentioned, to do a little bit of line dancing. So a little later on, we're going to find out more about that. But right now, my good friend Rob Tracy and his band are going to play us out. Rob, you go ahead.
And socialites and mamas from the PTA. We got bachelor and
Rob Tracy Band. Hey, you know me, I never turn down a good country song.
Right. We had
Look forward to listening to them a little bit more later.
We had a news meeting with maybe 20 people in it, and I'd say 2/3 of them had been to the Saddle Rack. So if you only know one thing about Fremont, it could be the Saddle Rack.
Not last night, though.
No, not last night. No,
no,
not on a school night. I have to mention the food again here in Fremont because Sal just highlighted the Afghanan. A lot of people might find Afghan cuisine a little bit intimidating. What am I eating? I don't get these spices. Can I tell you, it is some of the most delicious food you'll eat. It is. If you go there, I've been there. They explain it to you. They, oh, you like this, then how about you try that? So don't be intimidated. I only like to go out to eat, and I order things that I can't make at home, and that's one of the spots I go here.
That's really the best thing about taking this show on the road. You
Yes.
know, we literally do get
Yes.
a taste of the
Yes.
town. Now, every Zip trip, we have focused in on a nonprofit in every city, and today is no different. Today, we are going to focus in on what's known as the Fremont Family Resource Center. This is a place that's been around for 20 years. And it is really one of the biggest resource centers in the country. This is all about improving the life of families through like counseling, employment services, housing support, even insurance enrollment, just to name a few there. So we're going to be speaking to a couple people from the Fremont Family Resource Center, who, by the way, next month has a very big day. They got a big gig on September 13th. It's their biggest fundraiser. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary through a benefit concert. We'll talk more about that later in the newscast.
All right, we have a lot coming up. I know
That's right.
a lot of people know some things about Fremont, but no one knows everything about Fremont.
That's right. We're going to check in with KTVU's Frank Malicote for his classic Zip Trip Trivia. How well do Fremont residents really know their city?
And one of the shining stars of Fremont continues to be 1992 Olympic gold medal figure skater Kristi Yamaguchi. She is a champion off the ice as well. She won gold when I was in high school. My girlfriends and I said, hey, let's go to Dublin Ice Rink and try that.
92.
We could not do it. So Kristi is here with her whole family. We'll talk about the great things she is doing on and off the ice. Stay with us for the Zip Trip to Fremont.
I was in high school in 92 too.
Were you? What year were you?
All right, welcome back to the 9 live in Fremont. That's Audio Blonde bringing us back from break right there. Buffy and Ellie, two teenagers from Fremont who really love to write their own music. They also do some covers. Kelsey Ballerini, Elle King, Fleetwood Mac, Luminaires, all bands that I love. So Audio Blonde, thanks for being here with us to celebrate this final Zip Trip of the season.
Can't even begin to list all the instruments they play. So you go girls. All right, we talked about Fremont, the fact that it's 230-something thousand people strong. So a lot of people coming into Fremont, and a lot of long-timers as well, might not know all the answers to some pretty interesting questions that have to do with the city. So we sent our Frank Malicote out to Fremont to see if people know as much as they know about this town. Frank, you found that some people know a lot, others don't know as much as they think they know. Am I right?
Well, it depends where you go and who you talk to. The old-timers certainly know their history here. Throw a little trivia at you out of the gate here. John C. Fremont, the namesake of the town, the first Republican ever to run for president way back in 1856, of course, lost to James Buchanan, our 15th president, right before Abraham Lincoln. As you mentioned, rich with history here from high-tech Teslas here, after all. We got more on that coming up shortly. Some great athletes have come out of here, and a wee bit of Hollywood as well. So how much do Fremonters really know about their town? Well, let's find out. True or false? The first Mac computer was actually assembled in the town of Fremont.
False.
False.
I'm thinking more of like Silicon Valley.
And you would be wrong.
Oh, I think it was Mountain View.
Yeah. Actually, it was Fremont.
Oh, I heard that was true.
And you are correct. Won 3 Super Bowls, big-time Bay Area ties, and he actually started as the head football coach at Washington High School. Who is he? 49er head coach?
Oh, I should know that, but I don't.
Bill Walton. Bill what? Walton. Walton? No, he played who?
Bill Walsh.
Finally! And he coached at Washington High School.
Yes, where I graduated from.
He went to high school with my father. They were high.
Oh my God.
And he was my cousin's PE teacher and football coach
I hope
at
you got
Washington
some
High
tickets
School.
along the way.
I'm not a Niner fan.
Washington High's had some great athletes, too. One in particular, Hall of Fame pitcher, won a World Series with the A's, pitched for the Red Sox, among other teams. You might know him for his mustache and his long hair. Who is he?
Strawberry?
Darryl Strawberry?
Yes.
If I say Eck, you say...
Still no clue.
Eckler? Eckler?
Dennis Eckersley.
Dennis Eckersley. Oh, he lived on our street for a while.
Oh, come on, you should have known this then.
I should have.
Is he a good tipper?
Very good.
What was he like as a kid?
He partied a lot.
True or false? McDonald's Quarter Pounder was invented in the town of Fremont.
True.
How did you know that?
Ate some of them.
In fact, my sister's ex-husband had the first quarter pounder in Fremont. His name was Mike Cardoza. So, he ordered the first quarter pounder.
He didn't go on to be a big attorney, did he?
No, that's not the attorney.
Okay. Well, the town of Niles, which is now part of Fremont, was actually Hollywood before Hollywood. One silent movie star actually made a lot of films here. Any idea who that is?
Yeah, Little Tramp.
Yeah, that's one of his movies.
Right.
Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin.
Yes, I know that answer. Charlie Chaplin is.
Did you know that?
Yes, I knew
Yes,
that.
you know, everybody knows that. Come on.
The guy with the mustache? Charlie Chaplin?
Charlie Chaplin.
I got it. Charlie Chaplin?
Really? Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes.
With S&A Films?
Yes. Oh, you even have details. Well, there you go. There's actually a silent movie museum, an ode to Charlie Chaplin and Bronco Billy, right here in Niles, right in the town of Fremont. By the way, we all know Tesla's here, and if you are driving through town, you better be careful, because on their police force behind me is this beautiful Tesla car. I believe it's an S. We have Sean Washington, a captain with the Fremont Police Department. I guess you better be careful if you drive through Fremont, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're excited to have this opportunity to really explore technology, plan for the future, and this is a great step, having an all-electric vehicle.
And it's fully functional. This isn't something you just take out on a roadshow, right?
Correct. Fully functional police car. It has all the equipment that your standard police car would have. That was important because we have to have the tools to serve the community and make it safe for our officers to drive.
Who gets to drive it?
But we have select officers that are driving
do.
it, yeah, for sure. But we have some of our driving instructors that are testing it out. It is a pilot program, so we're really testing the technology to see if this is something we want to do moving forward.
And the legroom in the back, not so great, right?
Not so great, not so great. But you know, if you can avoid being in the back, then it's a non-issue.
Very good. All right, Captain, thanks for joining us.
All right, thank you.
A little bit of Tesla, of course, the home of Tesla here in Fremont. Mike Garcia, back to you.
All right, Frank, thank you for that. Thank you to the captain and all the men and women who serve the Fremont Police Department. All right, every city has a leader, and we are lucky enough to be joined by the leader of this city right now. That is the mayor of the city, Mayor Livia May, Fremont's first woman and minority leader, we should mention. Now, Mayor, you grew up just outside of Philadelphia.
Yes, I did.
And then you made your way west. Did you always have this desire to be a leader of a city, to be a mayor?
I don't know if I had the desire to be a leader. I had the hopes to be able to make a difference in the community that I live in. I'm so blessed to have so many great role models and people that have come before me, and I hope to be able to share that also with my community as a parent and just as a contributor to the residents.
That's right. You said you have two Made in Fremont children. So
yes, MIF.
MIF, Made in Fremont. We are here not quite in downtown Fremont, but you hope to transform where we are into essentially your city's downtown.
It is. We are literally practicing what we preach. We're making great things happen in Fremont, and this is a catalyst for us. And you're sitting in the area of the Town Fair Plaza, where we have a lot of activities that are going on, everything from our small businesses, our makerspace, and this is going to be the home for our community plaza.
You know, there's a lot of talk recently in the news just about Fremont and navigation centers and taking care of the homeless. A lot of debate within your city about where to put a navigation center. Where do you stand on this, Mayor?
Well, I think that what I stand on is right now making sure that we have a process that's open and transparent, that we engage our community members. We have 3 public hearings, and we've held one. We have one this weekend. And I think that what's most important for me is that we are looking at all of our residents, sheltered and unsheltered, and recognizing that we're a compassionate city that cares about everyone, and realizing that we are part of the solution. And we can't just stand by and watch things happen, but we need to address the concerns for everyone.
Growing up here in the East Bay, I always thought of Fremont as a large, but sort of, blue-collar, working-class, city. Home values in your city, Mayor, have jumped by 50% in just the past 5 years. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I think what you're seeing in the home values is the reflection of the quality of life here, that we have an amazing educational system, and the school district is something that we're very proud of. But also it's the fact that we have such an ecosystem that allows businesses to thrive. We are focused on advanced manufacturing, and when I said great ideas start in Fremont, we have over 900 manufacturers, and everything from autonomous vehicles to biomedical, and we have Facebook coming in the northern part of Fremont, so on the following the 880 corridor, and all the way down to Warm Springs. So we have so many of our tech companies, and here in our downtown, we're allowing us to be able to customize and build the community that we need in the future.
You're doing a great job. I've covered a number of stories in Fremont, from the NUMMI plant closing to Tesla being here, Solyndra, even the Oakland A's flirted with the idea of coming to Fremont. Right. Were you on board with that real quick, Mayor?
No, I think that anytime we have people who want to share sports and activities, we'd be supportive, but that was not neither here or there for my time. Yeah. It's been a few years since we had the A's discussions, but we are always looking, and that's why I'm so glad that you have one of our hometown heroes. We're proud of the fact that what's the most admired, as you mentioned, in Fremont is the people and the power that we bring with that. And so with the knowledge and the startups that we have, we're just so proud.
Well, thank you for taking the time. You have a great city. Yeah. Appreciate it, Mayor May.
Thank you. I think that you saved the best for last. And so we appreciate you coming to share in our city, and we welcome you back in the future as we start things
so
off.
Much. Right. Thank you. I joked a minute ago that half our newsroom has been to the Saddle Rack here in Fremont, and Sal Castaneda is posted there this morning, doing a little boots, scoot and boogie, some line dancing going on. So we're going to check in with Sal when we continue our zip trip to Fremont. He's at the Saddle Rack, so stay with us. Sound is known across the Bay Area. Buffy and Ellie of Audio Blonde. They're doing some covers this morning. They also write a lot of their own original music. So we are thrilled to have Audio Blonde performing for us here on our zip trip to Fremont.
All right, at the top of the newscast, we mentioned a lot of the recreational activities that you can do here in Fremont. One great spot to go to is Mission Peak. And joining us right now from the Mission Peak Conservancy is William Uregi. William, thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
I'm curious about visitors, because we mentioned I have actually never been to the top of Mission Peak. I love being outside, but one of the things that stops me is just the distance. It's a good hour or so from my home to get there. What about your numbers of visitors over the years? Have you seen an increase? Have you seen a decrease? And do most of the people who go to Mission Peak, would you say they live in about a 30-minute radius or so?
Most live in about an hour radius.
Hour, yep.
Approximately 2,000 people a weekend.
So I really have no excuse, basically, is what you're telling me.
No excuse.
Okay, but now how about this? We're a pretty active family. I'm not a superwoman. How physically fit does one have to be to make it to the top of Mission Peak?
You just need to be determined.
Determined and have a lot of water with you.
A lot of water.
Okay.
Go ahead. Well, I was going to ask, what's really being done just to preserve what you have here in your backyard?
What's being done? Wow. Well, the Park District does an amazing job of protecting the parks. So putting down gravel on the trails, keeping people on the trails, that's it. That's the primary thing that needs to be done, and the Park District does that.
I have a lot of friends who ride bikes. I mean, is there a lot of bike access too for people who are on their bikes all the time?
Fremont has wonderful bike trails, multiple bike trails. Mission Peak allows bikes. Vargas Plateau has bikes. Ardenwood has bikes. Coyote Hills has bikes.
We've actually done the Coyote Hill bike trail as a family.
Yeah.
I mean, look, and if I can do it with a bike trailer and 2 little boys in the back, anybody can
Absolutely.
do it. You must hear from a lot of people who do Mission Peak for the first time.
Yes.
What do they say to you after they do that?
I'm tired.
But it must feel good.
It's excellent. They have this huge smile on their face.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those Bay Area bucket list sort of things.
Yes, it is.
If you had to sum it up, William, what do you love about Mission Peak?
The view, the people. An amazing view, amazing people. And it is the top tourism draw in Fremont.
Awesome.
Yeah. Over 72,000 Instagram photos on right now.
There you go.
There.
That's how we measure these days.
That's it.
William
All right.
Yarecki, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thanks, William.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
All right, coming up in a second, she can probably climb Mission Peak 10 times over and not even break a sweat. Kristi Yamaguchi is going to be joining us. We're going to talk about her incredible skating career, all the great things she's doing now off the ice as well. Her family is here as well. So I want to talk about the whole, siblings, and did she still have to do dishes at home, like the ins and outs of family life when you're a superstar.
All right, look forward to that conversation. Also, I can't say that I've ever done yoga. My wife says I need to do more of it, but we're going to check back in with Frank Malicote, who's doing a shot about children and yoga.
Yeah.
You're watching The 9, live from Fremont. We're back right after the break. They are 2 teenagers from Fremont who know how to perform and get up on stage and just bring it. That's Buffy and Ellie from Audio Blonde. Again, they love to write their original music. They do play covers. Now, if you can't make it down here, this morning they do have a gig next weekend at Ohlone College Tri-City Street Fair. That is on August 31st. Audio Blonde, August 31st. Thank you for playing with us this morning on the Zip Trip. Love to hear them.
There's more music to be had over at the Saddle Rack here in Fremont. Sal Castaneda, a minute ago, gave us a taste of the town. Now he's going to maybe show us some moves of this city. Let's go back to Sal at the Saddle Rack.
All right, Kasia and Mike, the Saddle Rack is a legendary business that began in San Jose and moved to Fremont. 16 years ago, they opened back up here in Fremont. I want to bring the owner here, Gary Robinson. Gary, thank you for opening up your bar early for us and being here. And I noticed that you brought out some food because I like to eat.
Yes, Sal, I've heard that. I've heard you got a very, very, very nice shop.
Okay, this looks like tri-tip.
It is. That's tri-tip, and that tri-tip comes from Jackson, California. It's a swingless meat, and they do a great job. A little hard to get it here, but it's sure worth it.
Yeah, I've tried swingless, believe it or not. I've gone up there near Amador County. This is a burger?
Yeah, there is actually a half-pound of burger underneath there somewhere, and it's very comforting and very tasty. Of course, you can get it plain, too, but this is the rack burger. Why would you go any other way?
And you have taquitos. Now, I want to ask you, this bar is a legit country bar. You have like 5 different places to get a beer. Why do you suppose, Gary, this place is so popular? Everyone talks about it. It's one of the famous Fremont places.
We're proud to be here in Fremont. Why it's so popular? Security is the big factor. You can come here safe. We have good entertainment, a great sound system, and our security team is top-notch. Our managers, all the people who work here are like family, and they've been here a long time.
Gary, congratulations on your success. This is a great bar, and if you haven't been to the Saddle Rack, they're going to have a first responders event here on the 14th of September. They have a lot of special events, and it's a big facility. They even have a mechanical bull, and we're going to hear a little more from one of the bands that plays here a little later on. So, Mike and Garcia, if you are wanting to come to a place that's legit, that's the word I'm going to use. This place is legit. It's the Saddle Rack in Fremont.
Copy that, Sal. Look, I worked in Topeka, Kansas. I worked in Arizona. There's a lot of bars that are similar to the Saddle Rack. So, if you need a country bar or a country nightclub, as they say, you found it right there. All right, let's go back to KTVU's Frank Malicote, and he's got a segment right now. What is this, Frank? Yoga and children here?
Yeah, we're doing a little bit of yoga. It's been around for thousands of years. In fact, some 40 million Americans do yoga. And believe it or not, the kids are doing it. This is the Fremont Rec League and Department, rather. And these kids have been doing yoga all summer long. And their age is about 8 up to about 13 or so. And I have Deborah Crenshaw, Sheriff Field, with me to talk about it. Deborah, while we're looking at the kids, tell us about the program.
The program has been very successful. We have done it for the last 3 years, and the parents have been raving about how the kids come home and they're peaceful and their mindsets are in the right place, and they've just been very wonderful for the kids to do and participate in. They don't play games or video games, but they come home with something knowledgeable, and also their bodies are in a peaceful and well state.
And I know it. I do the hot yoga, the Bikram, and it's tough when you go through it, but there's a sense of accomplishment and this Zen feeling when you're done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And not only that, you start at a young age, they will carry it on as they grow up, and we have more healthy people.
Okay, let's talk to one of the kids, shall we? Nikhil, you stay right there. You continue to do your yoga. What are you doing right now?
It's called double pretzel.
Double, it looks like a double pretzel.
Yep.
And tell us, what do you get out of it? Why do you enjoy it?
It gives me flexibility and it gives me happiness.
Happiness too, huh? So you go, I bet your parents like it.
Yep.
All right, that nice Zen feeling. If you've never done yoga, highly recommend it, guys. We're in a Zen mode here. We'll throw it back to Garcia and Mike.
I'll get there someday, Frank. I will. That's a promise. Don't know when, but someday.
My kindergartners were doing yoga, by the way. So, okay, when we talk about Fremont, we talk a lot about family, about people helping each other and also helping complete strangers. The Family Resource Center here in Fremont has done incredible things for the past 2 decades. Let's talk more about that with the director, Judy Schwartz of the Fremont Family Resource Center, and also Drake McCarthy. You've benefited from the services that they offer. Thank you both for joining us. Judy, can I talk to you first?
Sure.
Fremont Family Resource Center offers many, many things.
Yes, I was so grateful because for 20 years we've been a collaboration of over 20 state, county, city, and nonprofit agencies right over there working together to serve families in Fremont, Union City, and Newark too.
Lots of different services.
Yeah, counseling, mental health, employment, financial coaching, help accessing services, emergency assistance.
I mean, I know it's one of the biggest in the country. Drake, can you just explain how you benefited from the Resource Center?
Oh, thank you for asking. Well, first start off, my name is Drake McCarthy. I'm a stage 4 cancer survivor and a foster youth alumni here in California in Fremont. And the FRC has been a crucial step in helping the low-income families in the area. They do everything from financial coaching with SparkPoint, and SparkPoint is a nonprofit under the global nonprofit United Way, whose mission is to bring people out of poverty all over the world. And I'm totally with that. It's a great thing to do here in Fremont, is bring people out of poverty, because we are all a community and we're all one. It's helped me establish financial goals. It's helped me get a car. It's helped me get my own place. It's helped me get back in college. It's helped me get my life on track to be successful in where I am today.
That list is long, and I love hearing it. Nice work.
The thing is, Judy, you can't do this alone. You're really asking for the public's help, and there is a party involved.
Yes, we have a big party coming up, and we'd love it if you would all come. We're celebrating our 20th year with a fundraiser to support all these critical services for families. It's on February 13th. It's a benefit concert and
Is it
dinner.
September 13th?
September 13th.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, good.
September 13th. It's a benefit concert and fundraiser. The concert is, I'm a Beatles fan, and it's California's best premier Beatles tribute band, the Sun Kings.
Awesome.
So it's dinner and a concert. It's at Campo de Bacci. And you can get your tickets by going to www.fremont.gov/FRC20.
I love it.
And there's still tickets left.
Okay, very good. Judy and Drake, thank you both for joining us. Have a great event on the 13th.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Glad you're doing great. Judy, thank you for all your work. All right, still to come here on the 9, live from Fremont. We're going to check in with KTVU's Claudine Wong, who's got a hometown hero. We all love our teachers, and she found a special one.
Other people might call this young woman a hometown hero as well. Kristi Yamaguchi, I know she's known worldwide, but my goodness, she does still belong to Fremont. So we have Kristi Yamaguchi and her whole family. We're, of course, going to talk about that gold medal moment. And we're also going to talk about what she and her whole family are doing now off the ice that is benefiting so many people in Fremont and far beyond.
All my time that I've been told, you never come back from Copperhead Road.
there at the Saddle Rack here in Fremont. It is a lively scene right here where we are as well.
It is 5 o'clock somewhere, as they say, right, guys?
Yes, you do say that an awful lot.
Good
yes.
band going on right there. All right, let's check in with KTVU's Claudine Wong right now. I know, Claudine, you've been telling some phenomenal stories in a segment we've called Hometown Hero, and we're ending these zip trips with just a fantastic find. You talked to a very special woman here in Fremont.
I did. You know, it's been such a pleasure in all these zip trips to talk to hometown heroes, which have included police officers and firefighters, first responders, just lots of different people who are helping out their communities. And really, unsung heroes, the unsung heroes for sure, are teachers. Fremont teachers right now getting ready for school, which starts next week. And they're digging into their own pockets, pulling out their own money for school supplies. Really such an incredible community. And I talked to one woman who taught here in Fremont for 27 years. She's retired now, but her work continues.
Where's the brown?
All summer long, every week, Livia Thomas has been here with children and paintbrushes and a mission to leave a legacy of beauty and kindness.
Art heals many things.
This was designed to be all together and make it as a group and, well, have fun.
Thomas's passion for this latest project doesn't surprise those who know her. She has spent a lifetime giving back. She wanted to be a teacher ever since she was a little girl.
And wanted to teach kids from all over the world, but what's happened is that kids from all over the world have come to me. And I can say I'm a better person for it. And I know that sounds really sappy, but it's really true.
In her 27 years as a teacher at Grimmer Elementary School in Fremont, she says she also did a lot of learning.
They taught me. I mean, that sounds crazy, but I learned to be a better human being and a better teacher through them.
And then about 10 years ago, she learned about a child who'd been bullying classmates for years.
But very under the radar. And finally we heard about it. And my principal, Judy Nye, she and I were overwhelmed. I grieved. I went home, I felt like something died because I thought we had a school that was kind and compassionate and loving. Judy and I made a promise to each other that we would learn what to do because we didn't know what to do.
From that promise came a kindness mural, a conflict manager program, and this video of children teaching children about kindness.
I just want to leave a good positive footprint.
And 3 years ago, she retired. Thomas says it was just time, but her wife says she never saw the joy of teaching dim.
When she was still working, every day she went to school, you'd think it was her first day at school.
And even in retirement, she hasn't stopped working, helping Grimmer students paint this mural on this shed in the Guerin Regional Park apple orchard.
I want them to see how much effort we did to the little shed, and it was all from our heart. When people see it, they're gonna see how much we did to paint with it.
So many years later, it is still all about the children, so many of whom are all grown up now, but who remember Miss Thomas. She teared up when she told me about a man just this summer who thanked her for a conversation she had with him so many years ago, a conversation that made a difference.
And it made me cry that day because you know, as a teacher, you don't always hear that.
Really touching. So really for Livia Thomas and all she's given beyond ABCs in her heart, thanks to her and thanks to all those hometown heroes that are our teachers that are heading back to school now. Gasia?
Absolutely, Claudine Wong. Thank you so much, Claudine. Another incredible story here that we have to talk about when you talk about Fremont. It's not just Kristi Yamaguchi, it's the Yamaguchi family. Good morning to all, and thanks for joining us. Cheers from the audience. Of course, we have Kristi Yamaguchi right next to me. We have Lori, her sister, head of the Always Dream Foundation. We have brother Brett over there in the back, and then we have mom and dad, Mr. and Mrs. Yamaguchi. Thank you so much for joining us today. Kristi, I have to start with you. When you're here in your hometown of Fremont, what's it like for you?
Well, it's like coming home. It's great. I mean,
mean, this is where I grew up, where I, went to school, graduated at Mission San Jose High School. So a lot of fond memories, of course.
And you went away to train and compete, but you made a point of coming home to go to high school here.
You know what? I was actually lucky. I was able to train here in the Bay Area up until after the high school, and then I moved away. But but this is definitely home, and my family, my brother and my mom and dad still live in Fremont.
They are so proud. So can I ask you a question here, Jim or Mr. Yamaguchi? You were in the audience when your daughter gave her gold medal winning performance. They introduced Kristi as the 20-year-old daughter of a Northern California dentist. How do you look back on what your daughter and really your family did back in '92?
Oh, I was the proudest moment of my life till then. I think that was so exciting.
Yeah. And it still is today.
It still is. Keeps on going.
Oh, wonderful. Well, and you have 3 beautiful children, each of whom have their own accomplishments. Lori, can I ask you, you are part of the Always Dream Foundation. What made you want to get involved with this organization and also to work with your sister? Because I know that can be hard.
It's a lot of family time, but I think we have a good thing going here. I also have 2 children of my own, and I'm really inspired, which is I think why I do the work at Always Dream Foundation around early literacy, and
a big focus on literacy and really kind of equalizing, making all things equal. If I can ask Brett, the brother in the back here. So I remember a story about Steph Curry, and I'll ask you this because you work for the Warriors. I heard a story about Steph Curry wasn't allowed to do his first high school basketball game because he didn't do the dishes, so his parents made him stay home. Did Kristi ever try to worm her way out of family obligations by saying, oh, I have to train, or oh, I'm too busy for that, or was she always a good sister?
I think between Lori and I, we kept her
Oh,
in line,
good.
and she couldn't get at any of those.
You honest.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so we all kept each other honest. So.
What's it like? So, there's grandchildren in the mix now for your parents. What's it like, the fact that all 5 of you are so close, when you all come together? Because I know that can be rare with a big family. What's it like when everyone's all in one spot now?
Oh, it's great. And our kids are all between the ages of 6 and 15, so they're really close. And actually, we're all getting together this afternoon for one of Lori's daughter's birthday. So awesome. It's nice to be close together. And Fremont is always a meeting point for a lot of our families. And it's it's nice to have that cousin.
I totally agree. It is the absolute richness of life. It's so incredible. Thank you all for joining us. Kristi, can we get you to hang out for one more second? Okay, we're going to put you on pause. We're going to come back and talk more with you, Kristi, about that gold medal moment and also about what you're doing off the ice. And I understand you have a little one who is on the ice herself, so we'll talk about that when we come back here on this Zip Trip. Stay with us.
All right, welcome back to the 9. Kristi Yamaguchi, kind enough to stick around for a few more minutes with us. I go back to 1992. I'm in high school, Gassi's in high school, and look, we all dream of things, and I'm sure you dreamt about winning gold, but when you actually win gold, what was that moment like?
It was kind of one of those pinch me moments, and I remember thinking of some of my idols, Bonnie Blair, Brian Boitano, standing on the podium and thinking, I can't believe that this is it, this is my moment. So it was a flood of emotions because obviously there's some relief and elation, but also a little sadness, bittersweet, because it's like, what happens now? Is that my last performance?
Well, I was going to say, a lot of people may think that's kind of the pinnacle of your life, right? And you're so young at that time.
Right, 20 years old.
But I tip my cap to you because you kind of took that as a challenge that this is not it. Like, I have a life to go live, and you're doing it, especially with child literacy.
Definitely. I think, and a tribute to my parents and their values and what they instilled in my brother and sister and I was like, you've been so lucky. You've been fortunate to go after your dreams. What are you going to do to give back? And that's really, what they encouraged me, and it was inspiring to be able to do something else after the Olympics and really set the bar higher and continue to challenge myself.
I'm lucky to have 2 little bookworms at home, but even though they can read, we still all read as a family, which I think is key. You talked about giving back. I don't know what's in the water here in Fremont, but Karen Chen, another incredible, talented young skater, you've sort of taken her under your wing. Tell me about that relationship, because you once used to look up to other women and now she's looking up to you.
Yes, no, I met Karen when she was about 12, skating here at the Fremont rink, and was so impressed with just how focused she was, how determined, and how hard she worked already. And it's been fun to watch her career grow and grow, and she's starting at Cornell this fall, along with competing at the world level. So she's really quite incredible, has a beautiful presence, you know, it really brings everything you need to be a top contender onto the ice.
You also have a daughter who, oh, I'm sorry, I was going to mention, you joke you're a soccer mom, you're also a skate mom.
I am.
Your daughter is on the ice being coached by Rudy Galindo, your former partner. What is that like?
It's pretty funny. You know, I hold myself back because I have to let Rudy take the lead. Well, you know, once in a while I find myself texting Rudy doing a lesson like, make her do this, and he's just like, okay. But, you know, for the most part, they work really well together. And, you know, I'm just mom, and I'm there for support and encouragement, and that's all she wants from me.
I've got 3 words on the walls of my children's rooms: dream, laugh, and inspire. And I know you're a big inspiration to so many out there. Tell people to dream. Do you have one word of advice for young boys and girls out there who are dreaming of whatever they want to do in life?
Yeah, keep believing. Keep believing in yourself. You know, you're going to hit bumps in the road and obstacles to get over, but you know, if you really want it and you have that passion for it, believing in yourself is what's going to get you there.
Got it. Kristi, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for coming to Fremont.
It's our honor and our pleasure.
Great way to end the summer zip trip season.
This hour has gone by in a minute. I can't believe we started in my hometown of Livermore. It feels like yesterday. Here we are in Fremont. We hit Campbell, American Canyon, South City, Sunnyvale, Clayton. But guess what? We're not done, because next summer...
That's right. In fact, I'm going to announce it right now. The first city we're going to is...
Yes.
No, I'm just joking.
Oh,
we're going to tell you. We're going to tell you in
Maybe
spring of
you
2020. Hey, by the way, thank you to everyone behind the scenes. It's not easy to put on an hour-long production, so thank you to each and every one of you. You know who you are.
Absolutely. Hey, we'll see you at noon. It's not going to be us, so we're going to the Saddle Rack, right?
That's right.